Thank you. Welcome everybody to the October 1st, 2024 Edmondson Heights Civic Association Community Meeting. This is our second one of the season. And last month, a couple of people forgot about us because they were still vacationing, but we are back now. Hopefully, I can take this and I can make this uh, short and sweet, or short or sweet. You all can pick. Um, so I want to start off by saying that last week before, I posted about dog that I found. She has been returned to her home. Yeah, she has been returned to her home. Um, I will state at the end of the meeting for people who come in later that the dumpster day is at the end of the month. The 26th, I'm pretty sure of it. There will be no shredding because the shredding came out of our pockets, and we are not sure if anybody else will take that chance on us anymore. I don't know. And maybe we'll just make it a once a year thing. We're not sure, but we won't count it out. We definitely won't count it out. It'll just be something um for you know purse purposes we will take care of. Welcome, Miss Bronzella, but she's still coming in. So I'll start off this past Thursday. My Vice President Angela and I attended this would have been the third annual Baltimore County Community Leadership Summit held by County Executive Olszewski's office. He did a good job. Still, we're not sure if we're having one next year, but basically, the goal in that is to present us with resources and some of the information we can come and we can bring back to the community. We did get our resources. We got in some really good conversation with Baltimore County's Department of Community Development, Community Housing and Community Development. And that'll take some research in there because we were really interested in if anything could be done without discriminating. Anything could be done about Section 8 housing or the number of Section 8 housing and voucher program. What is it called? The voucher program, the affordable housing voucher program. And they just asked us they gave us a direction to go, and they told us to be diligent and to make a fuss, basically, so that where they don't have answers, they'll have to come up with them. Um, they gave us information that we can find on BC Stat, which is different statistics of Baltimore County. And you guys, if you want to do something for fun, it just has our statistics and it shows how important it is to be counted on the census. I don't know when the next census is, but a great majority of the information, the information comes from um, different county agencies, the things they count, how they count us, how we need them, and what's needed where. Um, and if you look at the site is BCSTAT,
Mm-hmm.
more than likely.gov. Angie?
I want to say that because I'm looking at the little the spreadsheet right now, but if they just put in that BC stat, it will
Yeah, if
come
you
up
Google it,
and lead them to the dashboard.
yeah, there's a lot of information, and you get to see you can see where you are also counted individually. It's pretty cool. And they keep adding to it and they keep giving us updates on it every year and just how they're going to determine um what resources are needed where. Another thing that I don't even think I need notes for this one that I learned, a really good takeaway that I got is a lot of things you wonder why different things happen. Why do you need that information? Why is this all of this stuff relevant? Um, I want to say last year we were told that we could report vacant housing or housing that we wanted to make sure, we wanted to see if it was vacant within the community. So, which in a way, right off the top, last year was like, oh, okay, yeah, we can do that. That sounds easy. And then this year, maybe I paid a little bit more attention. I'm not sure, but I learned why. And if I can put this in the best way that I understood it is one, if a home has running water or if someone has been seen going in and out of it, it doesn't matter if you don't see anything in there, it can't be counted as vacant. But what happens is if a property is considered vacant, they find out, get in touch with the owner. At some point, the owner has to take some sort of action. The owner can't leave it sitting there just vacant like that. And then they go and they check if taxes have been paid, if taxes are up to date. And what happens if the taxes haven't been paid is the property can be sold and you can buy a property by paying the taxes. And if that makes sense, that told me that that is how we end up with so many income properties in the neighborhood. Just so like you and I could pay the taxes on one of these properties around here and we own it. Um, so they're not paying like top dollar, they're not paying even bottom dollar. They're paying the taxes and keeping up. I noticed I heard them. And they're keeping up the taxes on these properties. And then they take them, they sell them, they do what they want to do. And we get to find out basically just by doing a lot of questioning if there's a better way than the way that I think, which is by just bombarding income property owners with just mail and saying, hey, be sure to check on your renters and be sure to check on your properties, but we have to make them they only care about the income that they get. They don't care about the communities, which we know. And we can't really do anything about the renters, and we can't teach them how to um, be appreciative as though they were homeowners. That's just something that can't be taught. So um, we can kind of contact Baltimore County DHCD, Department of Housing and Community Development, to find out if and say, hey, we have issues with this property. Either the lawn is not being cut, it's not being maintained, maybe it's vacant. There's some unruly neighbors that just kind of are just really getting on our nerves. Oh, I think I just answered somebody's question from an email I didn't get back to. Um, and if they're on the voucher program, the Affordable Housing Voucher Program or Section 8, Department of Housing can steps in. They step in. Um, excuse me, let me make that note because I do have someone who really talks to me about that. HCD. So that is how, but if they're not on the voucher program, it really, we just have to put pressure on the landlords. And I do have access to who the landlords are, and we do have a lot of properties that are being purchased by companies. And I don't quite, and Angela, you might remember how he said that goes. We have Sullivan Homes, um, Diversity, what are they? DR something. But um I think they have to, no, they're private. They're private. They're not, and but we can still go to DHCD to ask them to kind of step on their necks a little bit, or what can we do to step on their necks a little bit to get them to not just drop people here. Um, I got an email last night, which I thought was, well, for me, it was good. There's another company. I guess they're going to start buying houses up in the neighborhood. And I think they were Moss or something like that. They start, well, they've only sent one, but I hope it's something that they continue to do. And they sent an email stating that we are over this property, we own this property, and gave the address. Here's the information that you can reach us with. Very transparent. I thought that was really neat. So I'm going to start probably asking Sylvan Homes to do the same thing, because it leaves it up to us to figure it out. And when they sell it, let us know that you're selling it. A lot of I spend a lot of time reaching out to realtors and title companies, and there's times when I have to go, excuse me, why didn't you check with us to see that we existed and to make sure that they didn't owe anything and we didn't have any holes on this property? Um, So a lot of time is spent just kind of strong arming, and you can't fire me from this job. You can, but okay. Um, but just kind of strong arming a little bit and going, money was owed to us and we don't appreciate being overlooked, on and on and on. So yeah, a lot of time where they get the money from when they send it to us, I don't know. I don't care, because they're supposed to make sure that they get in touch with us. I did have one realtor who was also an owner in the community. He said, I checked. We didn't see anything about you all. And I don't know why he had the issue, but I did I reached out to, I want to say, I'm pretty sure it's not the Department of Planning, but they said, yeah, we don't see you either. And they asked that I fill out a form, and I guess I'll check back to see um, what I follow up to see what happened with that. And so we don't have um, that issue again. Writing a note to check in with them again. Um, Also, when we went to um, the Baltimore County Community Leadership Conference, we received a training on um, opioid overdose response. Is an opioid overdose response training. And with this, we got, I don't have mine near, it doesn't matter. It's a nasal spray, but it was how to respond if you think, and hear signs of someone who's overdosing on opioids. Um, if you give them the treatment, if they're not overdosing on opioids, it's not going to hurt them, because they got bigger fish to fry at this point. Yeah, you'll see Angela's holding up Narcan, and I keep calling it Narflucan. I have no idea where that came from, but they gave us a couple of boxes with them in there. We are going to try to get more um, to spread out through the community. If you don't mind sticking something, I mean, it really is a nasal spray. There you go. Um, and it doesn't hurt to just kind of have it. I'd like to see it be on at least different corners of the neighborhood, just in case. So, if anyone in particular, because I'm gonna come back to it later, but if anyone thinks that's something you're okay with walking around with or having, then I'm perfectly, we'll make sure that you get one. Eventually, I'll make sure that you get one. But so what's probably gonna end up happening is they're gonna assign a health, maybe a healthcare worker to us, and they'll maybe do a Zoom meeting like this and give a training. Ours was maybe 10 minutes. I looked online, they said it'd be a little bit longer, but it was 10 minutes. They gave us some statistics, and here you go. There you go. So, yeah, if anybody's interested, I guess maybe we'll send something out because I did learn how to use, I think I learned an interest in how to use software to just kind of send out um, to do a poll. And yeah, I'm sure I remember it. I'm sure I remember it. You just visiting or you got something for us? Delegate Ruth.
Hello, how are you
Hi
tonight?
there. I want to
If you have a few minutes for me, I would love to talk about question A on the ballot and the
go
county
for it.
expansion.
Yes, go for it.
Wonderful, thank you so much. So, hi everybody, how are you? I guess you can't all say hello, but it's good to be here. Good to see you. For those
Thank
of
you
you
for
who don't,
coming.
thank you. Um, so I'm Delegate Sheila Ruth. I represent District 44B. I wanted to talk about question A. I don't know if you can see this, which is on your ballot right here, when you vote. And so there's a lot of confusion about it. And I just wanted to explain some of what's going on to help you make your decision on how to vote. So some of you probably are familiar with the Four More for Baltimore County effort that was going on, where we were trying to collect signatures to expand the county council to put a question on the ballot to expand the county council by adding 4 council districts. The county has grown in numbers since the county charter was written. So each council member now represents a lot more people than they did when the county council was first created. But also, um, adding additional districts would open up the opportunity for additional diversity on the council. Right now, the council is not very diverse. And so, having 11 council members would give much more opportunity to district in a way that would create diversity, create opportunities for more diverse candidates. And so we collected signatures for that. We got over 10,000 signatures, which is what's required, but enough of those were invalidated due to technicalities that 4 more did not get on the ballot. So it ended up being less than 10,000 after they invalidated signatures. That's a different issue. I have a bill that deals with that. I'll talk about that another day. But um, in the meantime, the county council passed a bill 47-24, which would add 2 members to the county council. So not as much as we were asking for with 4 more, but at least it would expand it from 7 members to 9 members. So far, so good. The problem is they passed a bunch of other stuff in that bill as well. One of the things that they did that I'm very opposed to is they drew a district map. So normally when redistricting is done, it's done every 10 years after the census, and the county charter requires a redistricting commission with no elected officials on it to figure out how to draw the maps based on the population of Baltimore County and to draw them in a fair way. And then the county council votes on the maps that the commission draws. The commission has to have at least 3 public input sessions on the maps. Um, Unfortunately, for this ballot measure, the county council decided that they wanted to just go ahead and draw the map. They drew the map themselves, not a council redistricting commission. County council members and county council staff drew a map with 9 districts. And the bill that they passed says if this ballot measure, which is now question A on the ballot, so when you vote for question A on the ballot, you're voting to expand the county council by adding 2 members to take it from 7 to 9. But if that passes, then a map is already drawn of those districts. And so there's really no opportunity for public input. There's no redistricting commission. Now, they did add an amendment at the very end, which says that they will appoint a redistricting commission, but nothing says they have to accept the results of that redistricting commission. The map that is attached to the ballot measure will become law 30 days after the ballot measure passes. So if they don't accept the results of the redistricting commission, this map, which was drawn by county council members, will become law. There are some other things that you should be aware that you're voting on if you vote yes on question A. One of which is it also changes the county council from part-time to full-time. They're currently considered part-time. It would change them from full-time. It doesn't actually change their compensation, but if you're full-time, there's a possibility for more compensation. Now, personally, I think the county council members put a lot of work in. I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to them being full-time, but it's something that should be dealt with separately, not as a part of this other ballot question. So you can't vote yes on the council expansion without also voting to make the county council full-time and voting to put this map into place. And a few other things are in there as well. So I just wanted you to know what you're voting on. Now there is a bill, and the reason I was late is I was coming from the county council hearing tonight. There is a bill that Councilman Pat Young put in. I think that's the councilman for all of you. I think Edmondson Heights councilman is Pat Young. He put in a bill to strip the map out of this ballot measure, so that you would not be voting on that map, and map would be drawn in a fair way after the ballot measure passes. So I went up to the county council to testify in support of Councilman Young's bill. If his bill passes, then I will be voting yes on question A, because I do think we need to expand the council and we do need more diversity. If it doesn't pass, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I probably will vote against question A, because even though I do think we need to expand the council, I don't agree with a map being drawn by the council. So if there's any questions on that, I'm happy to answer them. I'm sorry that was so long.
That was not long at all. How would we know if the redrawing of the map, the current drawing of the map will be taken out?
I can email you and let you know. They're voting on it next Monday, and Jaquista, I will email you and let you know, and you can share it with the community. Is that okay?
I sure will. I sure will. Okay. Hmm. So if they if they don't if they don't take out the part where they're going to go with the map as it's drawn today, if they don't take that out, then it's not necessarily fair, and it doesn't work in the best interest of the existing districts. If they do take it out, it leaves room for a different party to draw the lines fairly and just kind of do some even distribution. Okay. Okay. And you will, I'm making the note. Okay. Anyone have any questions about this? Okay. Okay. I will be getting when she sends the information to me, I'll send it to you all. Yep.
Thank you.
I don't think these notes I'm writing are saving, but okay. Okay. Thank you, Delegate Ruth. You got anything else?
I'm happy to answer questions about anything else anybody has.
Let me ask you, because now I realize you'd be probably the perfect person. I was in the Westview, where Safeway is. In the Did I see a blue light in camera? I saw a blue light where Rite Aid was. on the corner of where Rite Aid used to be. And well, I think that's what I saw.
Okay. I don't know the answer to that, but I can try to find out.
Yeah, because that is not a good thing.
Hi, Jaquista. I don't want to interrupt.
Yes,
It's Sharon.
go for it.
I believe there is a blue light there. In the past, my husband had seen where I guess these were mechanics. They were setting up shop in that parking lot directly on the side of where Rite Aid was, and they were there working on cars. And evidently, the owner of the shopping center wasn't aware of it, and I believe they were made aware of it, and that may be the reason the light was put in. I can't guarantee that's the reason. I was a bit surprised because I thought, would that have been the appropriate thing to do to put a blue light camera in there? So I don't think it was for that. Maybe something else was going on there at night too, you know, in addition to
Right.
them just working on cars, leaving old cars there, doing repairs there as if they had a pop-up shop or something. But I agree with you. To me, a blue light wouldn't have been appropriate. So maybe there was some type of I don't know, some type of criminal activity going on there. I'm not really sure.
Okay. Well, Officer Benz Clark is in the house.
Okay.
Welcome back. Do you have a question? You have
Good
a response
evening.
to that?
No, I do not, because that shopping center is actually handled by Wilkins. And when I checked the calls for service for your community today, there was no major incident shown on my side. But because it's handled by a different precinct, I would have needed to check their calls on that side. So
Okay.
I don't know why that blue light is there.
Okay.
But thank you guys. I really appreciate the donation to my mom's repast. I thank you so very much. It made me smile in a rough situation. So
We
thank
are
Very
you.
glad
welcome.
to have been able to make you smile and a little fat too, and a little fat because that was that was yeah, that was some sweet sweets. Oh yeah, I'm a sweets lover, but thank you and welcome back, Officer Benz Clark. Um, do you have anything that you want to report for us?
I don't have anything to report in reference to the calls in your community. Hold on one second. If you guys
Mhm.
didn't have any major calls, but I did want to share, because we are in October, I just wanted to remind people to be aware we're coming up on the holiday season. You know, there'll be people out shopping. To be aware when you're shopping online, you don't want to use sites that's not secure. Just be aware, because crime is about opportunity, and you don't want to give somebody the opportunity to make you the victim.
That is right. Great day in the morning. That's very depressing.
To lock your doors. Remember to lock your cars, keep the valuables out of sight.
Yep, that's very depressing, y'all. Because there's no real way to keep people from taking your packages or just doing these things. There's no real way to keep it. Right? You can get a camera, you can get all these things, but
So
somehow,
you want to kind of make sure you don't have all your packages coming at once. And if you know your packages are coming, have somebody there to pick them up, so they're not just like sitting on the stoop until you get
hmm
home and
hmm
like that.
and if
Pick them up from
you,
the Amazon box. You know how they have the little storage boxes? That would
yep,
be good. I know a lot of people in the park do that because they can't really get into the buildings most of the time.
yep. I was just about to say those are at Amazon has lockers at the Safeway.
And at Shoppers too.
Shoppers too. There
Yeah.
you go. So yeah, that almost makes up for the blue light, but
But
definitely
Jaquista, I wanted to say something to Officer Binns. Can you hear me?
Vince Clark.
I just wanted to tell Officer Binns Clark that there's activity showing up again at the park in the corner and Granville beside my house.
Okay, I will take that back and let patrol know to check that area. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Jaquisa, let me ask Officer Benz Clark, with the situation that was up by Pat's, is there any update on whether how they're if we can get privy into how the investigation going? Because I know during the meeting that there was an arrest made, but there since it's still been high traffic there. So is there any update with that you would know of?
No, I don't know. The last thing I knew that there was arrest made at that location. And for right after the arrest was made for a couple days, there weren't people there. I checked it and there weren't people there while I was there, not unless they're coming later in the evening. And if they are, I would say just make sure you call so they know that the activity is picking back up.
Well,
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
when
very
I
well.
passed there uh recently and I didn't see anybody and I was just very, very happy about that. Um I was very happy and if I think the idea to maybe repurpose that area or something or put something there or that's a heck of a spot to try to pick. That's not very smart. It's right there off the main road. But yeah, I think we'll stay in touch with Catesville Manor to um, see if they need us for anything because that definitely affects us also. Um, anybody? Yes, Delegate Bruce.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask if it, when I inquire about the blue light camera, if that is what it is, what would you like me to pass on about community concerns?
We're concerned that the blue lights are coming into the community. My understanding, I'll say this, my understanding is that the blue lights indicate heavy crime areas.
I'm like, nope.
Yeah, heavy
But I
crime
came back home and
areas.
was able to deal with it on the phone.
Oh, that's good.
And yeah, that they are heavy crime areas, and if that's indicative as to just if things are changing for the worse here as far as crime goes. I've really been working on getting the purple lights changed through the neighborhood because there have been people who thought, oh, we're in a blue light district now.
yeah.
No, there's those, no, it's not blue lights. And I try to work on getting those changed because that's just not something we want attached to us. So
Right.
yeah, we need to know if there's something we need to be worried about
Got it.
because that's not something. Is there something that's needed in the parking in that parking space? Do we need to be clutching our purses extra hard because there's stuff going on? I mean, you clutch your purse anyway.
I shop
Um,
in that shopping center. That's the closest shopping center to me.
Me too. So it it's like what tell us something. We need I would have liked to have known about that. That should have been something that went out
Okay.
about that. I don't want it to change the progress that we're trying to make.
Absolutely.
And yes, so yes, that's what
Got it.
yes. Hi,
Thank-
Miss Francella.
Hello, everyone. I still have a problem with the cards. It's been over 2 years for one car, another year, 3 years. The cars are still there. They haven't moved 1 inch. The tags are not on their right place. And it's really frustrating. Am I just wasting my breath?
Officer Benz Clark.
Where are the cars?
On
That
Lake
is
Road,
Langford.
I think
1400 Langford.
I think you ticketed them or did something with them, but they're still there. You know, they haven't moved. No one go in them or anything. And it's really frustrating when people put cones out to park. And if I go someplace, what am I going to do?
Well,
The cone-
nobody should have cones out.
Oh, but they do.
Yeah, nobody should have cones out. So if Jaquisa, if you want to send me the addresses that are putting cones out, I can go and speak to them and give them the county code and let them know that that is $100 fine. If the vehicles that I have tagged are still there, did
Yes.
they fix the registration? What did they do?
If they did anything, they didn't move the
Throw it
cars.
away.
One car is almost on the ground, and the other cars, they have not moved at all. If they fix the registration, to me, it's inoperable. A car to sit that long, it's not gonna be running.
But that's not how the county see it. If the registration is valid and it's not visibly abandoned, and I can't look at it and say, yes, this car does not run, then I can't tag it abandoned.
Okay, so what is physically abandoned?
Visibly, meaning the
Visibly
tire,
abandoned.
that's
meaning-
visibly, the tire is flat, the engine is hanging out, it's something of that nature. It doesn't have a battery in it, the hood is up, and I can say it's not operable, the axle is broken,
Okay,
the
One of the
registration is expired.
one of the cars is like that because it's almost on the ground. The tires are flat.
That's
Okay.
the BMW.
Yeah. And the other one, the SUV, it hasn't moved at all in over 3 years.
I think it has a tag in the front, but
It has
not
a
in the
Virginia
back.
tag in the front. I thought the tags were supposed to be on the back, but hey, who am I?
The tag is supposed to be in the back, but they have the Virginia tag, long as they have the tag on the vehicle. And if you're talking about the Honda truck, I did check that, and that tag was valid through Virginia when I checked it. So the county doesn't require you to move your vehicle every 30, 72 hours or once a week. I think the city has a requirement like that, but the county doesn't require you to do that. But the BMW, if you know the address, you can put it in the chat, or Jaquista, you can send it to me in an email tomorrow and I will check it out.
Okay. Gotcha.
I can't, I just gotta stay within Baltimore County guidelines. I can't just tow some car and then they'll be suing the county and it wasn't visibly abandoned or anything like that. And I don't technically tow it, the abandoned auto unit, so I just tag it and they come out. So if they come out and say, oh yeah, this car doesn't meet the criteria to be towed, then they won't tow the car.
Okay, I understand. And
Officer Benz Clark, go for it.
no, you go ahead.
I was gonna ask about vehicles that are for sale on the roads. Parking
You
in the
can place a for sale sign in your car on the road, but it has to be near your address. Has to be on your property. So parked in front of your house, parked in your driveway, parked on the side of your house. But it can't be like 3 streets down for sale.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead, Miss Bronzella.
Okay, one more thing. This is for you, Jaquiska.
Okay.
1451. They still do not have a storm door.
Okay.
And that's been what, 3 years?
Yeah.
At least 2 years.
Are they well, the grass is not as high as I would expect it to be.
And
But
then the bushes, is one bush that's should have been trimmed, but anyway, it's gonna be up to the sky anyway, whatever.
okay. Gotcha. I got some letters that I'm working on now. I'll take care of that one. And because I have to redo letters because somewhere they just decided to delete when the computer turned off. But okay. I got you on that, Miss Bronzella.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for showing up this time.
I don't know what I was doing that day, but it completely slipped my mind. I didn't realize until after 9 o'clock. I said, oh, well. You know, being on vacation doesn't help all the time, you know?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Today's Tuesday. I got time for that. So back for my agenda. Okay, so back to my agenda. I'm going to what I am working on reasonably this month. I have to work on the newsletter. Also, and to not rush myself with that, I'm going to send postcards as reminders for dumpster day. I wish I could send the ones I sent earlier this year, but I don't know. I'm not okay. But yeah, I'll be doing postcards for those. That's easier than trying to rush through a newsletter. Go. Rush through a newsletter. My plan, this is the first of the month, so I can get some things accomplished. I will be sending delinquent dues letters to income properties. Whatever they have to is delinquent. Those will be to income properties. After that, it'll be letters for the community, for people who haven't paid any dues or have the most dues owed. Um, and I'll be asking members of the board and the the folding crew to help stuff those envelopes. I'm working on just a blanket letter for those now, knowing I probably already have one, but from there I want to finish those and then get the letters to for the covenant violations. I think I'm going to do those street by street. I think that's what's going to work out better for me, is to do them street by street and not try to get them all done at one time. Street by street, and the things that I know, like that blue porch on Langford and that terracotta porch on the 1500 block of Kirkwood. That's nah, no. And something that I've noticed when I say to people, hey, before you move, or you have to paint that porch, they're doing this two-tone thing, even though I'm saying this is the stain color to use. Here's the stain. I wanted to get some stain samples out too. Who knows if that's gonna happen, but just to be honest. But yeah, I'm not sure what the two-tone thing is doing, so it's making me have to double back and just kind of, you know, pull on my beard a little bit with these people. So I'd like to ask the people who are watching later after this is posted, please just look at the guidelines. It tells you under stains. It tells you what stain combination is good for the porches. That's what's acceptable and authorized for the porches. Should be able to get those at Home Depot on Route 40. There is that. There's that. Okay. So good timing, I guess. I had this thought. Well, we're on the second year of the grant that we're working with Be Green Neighbor Space. We're working on for our community's green spaces. We're on the second year grant cycle of this. We have to meet with our counterparts and have a meeting with what is it that we would like to do. It is possible, and we're not sure. We did have a meeting with Councilman Young about we've been getting a little bit of kickback from Parks and Recs and Park about what they just they won't sign up for us to do anything with the park. It's funny. It's like they've been telling us that we'd have to get our own money. And now that we have our own money, they're going, no, you can use that money and pay us for what you want us to do. And
What?
yes. So you can give us the money and we'll do what you want us to do. Yes. So we are fighting, kicking, and screaming with that, and it's probably going to hinder our whole grant. And to kind of keep the grant was not just provided for the green spaces. We got the grant because of the park. So we did the park, the median on Harwell, and the triangle on Forest Park and Newfield. So they may not give us permission to do, we don't know. So we do have to get back in touch with Councilman Young to see if he got an opportunity to kind of talk to some people about this. However, I had this thought, and it was, do the people of Edmondson Heights want this restoration project? I think we moved forward with it because it made sense to move forward with it. Someone wanted to invest and give us help us out, because but someone wanted to invest, and they wanted to know what our vision is and wanted to do what they could to make it happen. And I thought, I have no idea if Edmondson Heights, the people, want this. They could probably want it, and it'll be nice to see when they walk in and out of the houses, and go, oh, that looks nice. That looks better. We could want that. Or because we live indoors and not outdoors, we really don't care. And I say we very weakly. So it would be nice to know if the majority wants it. And the question of if anyone has any idea of what you'd like to see. Not what you would like to do, not what I'm going to ask you to volunteer for, not for anything. What is it that you would like to see? And I open the floor.
Jaquisa, this is Angela. So with that being said, you just mentioned something a minute ago about doing a poll. And I think we've done this poll in reference to, or a survey. We did a survey, not a poll, in reference to the flower giveaway as well as the tree. And when this initiative originally first started, a lot of people were gung-ho. They had all these big ideas of what they thought the park should be used for and how they felt that it would better the community. So with that being said, have people lost their enthusiasm about what the park should look like, what we should utilize it for, and are we working beyond capacity of what the community actually wants? And if we don't utilize it, the most important thing to know is if it's not used, we lose it. So we can't go to the board and speak on the behalf of the community and have the community have a lackluster approach to beautifying or continue to beautify the neighborhood. So whatever that enthusiasm was, whatever that spirit of come together and let's do something with the park, because what we don't want to do is what Susie mentioned before is have people think that we don't care about the park, that they can now use the park for their own personal recreation and to do what they want, and that could contribute to what we don't want, and that's crime.
Right.
People hanging out and loitering and bringing down the value of our homes. So we have a two initiative thing. We don't want it to go back for those that actually live around the park and have seen it and have witnessed it and have lived through what they have done. Because what they do at the top of the park sometimes filters down through our neighborhood. So what we don't want that to do is to go back to that.
Mhm.
So the initiative of us bringing beautification or to continually to do better for that park. We can't stop midstream now that we actually got funding for it. And because we don't have the backing like we really want to from Parks and Recs and property management, we're getting tossed back and forth like we are playing tennis, literally playing tennis with what we want. So we can have the community fall back and have no conversation and have
Mm-hmm.
no input with what goes on. So Jaquisa and I are at the tables talking on your behalf. So what we need you guys to do is to speak up, continually to speak up, and voice your opinion, because we are then speaking of what we think you want. So if you don't tell us, we won't know. And
Well,
the fight continues to go on with Parks and Recs and the property management. It is literally a real fight.
well said.
Indeed. And with that, we are, yeah, we are fighting for it. And I think I was in the leadership meeting, and I don't know what was being said, and I wrote down some stuff that we are just, it is, it's whooping us. And it just kind of reminded me of something that was said in another meeting, that and what has actually been shown is that maybe the two of us want more than the community wants. Because what I want is for my house to be more, to cost more whenever I get ready to sell it than it was when I bought it. I'd like to be able to walk outside and just go, this is, when I moved in this neighborhood, I thought it was just really just tucked away, and because I came in from the other, I went, this is nice. This is nice. And I chose this house. I pulled up, and my neighbor had his little girl in her karate gi, and I went, okay, the kids do things around here. This is good. It was quiet. I had to ask directions from one of the kids. The kids were very polite. And that still happens in the neighborhood. Which is, um, I can't even say I'm proud because I don't have a kid. But to I think everyone should have that experience when they come into the community and look for a house, and just kind of look around and go, it's nice to see someone sitting on their porch and just kind of hanging out and just sitting in their chair on the porch, watching things, watching ships roll in or whatever. It was really nice. And I looked at a house on Harwell, and I went, and it really is hard to sell a house that you are currently living in, because I can't see me in it. I saw her in it. I looked at one on Kirkwood, and when I'm not sure if I want to live this close to other people, and let me look at a single family. And then I went to a single family, and I went, who's up? It's grass. I'm gonna cut grass. So cutting grass is why I moved to Edmondson Heights. But the house on Kirkwood was gone. It was beautiful. It had the center staircase. It was beautiful. And then this one became open. I was like, just hold it for me. Just hold it. I saw it online. I said, just hold it for me. Because I'd already been through the neighborhood a couple of times and already liked what I saw. So I think it would be nice for anyone to have that experience. I think that's the only way we're going to get good neighbors, good-ish neighbors. Um, it's only so much we can do. But and I'd like to have everyone feel, hey, you're welcome in Edmondson Heights. Hey, we are just kind of closed door people, but just what we want to present and what we want to be. And it's my thing, what is it that we want to be? Because otherwise, I am president over doors and windows. So I can dial it back, all the way back, and be president over doors and windows. Yeah, and railings and porches. I can do that. Or I can be a part of overall keeping this community, um, keeping it growing. Well, as far as the cost of the cost of our properties. I'm not going to backtrack and go into, I don't do issues between neighbors. I'm not getting involved with any of that. The issues with if someone's grass is too high, I say call 311 or dial 311 or however you want to send a smoke signal to 311. I have done a lot of things because I want to see things go smoothly or what have you. I will if there's if I'm a better way to keep stuff down, to keep peace, then I'll consider it. But no, not people going to court with each other and my name is coming up and no, I'm trying to lay low. I can't be coming up and stuff like that. Um,
Hi,
but
Jaquista, this is Sharon. Could I
yes,
say
ma'am.
what I'd like to see for the park? I live across from it. What I've always wanted is what it was when I originally moved here. I like it to be respected as a watershed for our entire community, and that's what it was created for, to get all of the water out of the community so we don't have issues flooding and things like that. In addition to that, I'd like the stream to be healthy again. I'd like them to work on the infrastructure to cut back on some of the soil erosion, particularly on the upper part of where Forest Park is, because we're losing that whole side at the top of that hill. And we've had that discussion with the county before, and they realize it's happening. They don't have the money to do anything really about it. So they say, just let the weeds and the dying trees stay there, because that's the only thing holding that soil in place. And that's really my dream. I don't want it overdeveloped, but I'd like for it to be the watershed and a walking space for families, children, people with their animals. And I'd like them to pay more attention to dying trees. And we have had some new trees planted there, that type of thing. But that's always been my dream for it. And I just wanted to add my 2 cents.
Sharon,
That sounds
I think lovely summation of where we start.
yeah.
And it could be mowing it.
Yeah.
They mowed the whole thing.
Yeah, it's getting mowed. I think it's regularly, and they're coming up and they're picking up the paper.
They're doing regularly, Jaquista, but they're not doing the lower quarter.
Exactly.
They've, it's all weeds and anybody who wants to walk a dog or take a walk for peace, they can't go that way. They can't go that far. It's hard to get in and out of. There's like one way in and one way out now. And it needs to be many so that we can get out just like the kids, and invite the kids back in, invite Boy Scouts back in.
I agree. I did get to see somehow there's another way in. Somehow. Because
There's
we would
lots of ways in, Jaquista, but only brave people like me can do it.
So,
Okay.
Jaquista,
Yes.
is the grant just for the park, or does that include, this is Melissa, by the way.
Melissa.
Well, does it include the Hallwall strip and the triangle?
No, that's a good question. It started out, we got it because of the park, and then we doubled down, and when we have a real need, because we do have the triangle and the center there. Overall, when they talked about getting a design team, the design team was for the whole neighborhood. It was going to do the whole neighborhood. But the most attention was going to go on the green spaces. It's basically that's what they are. They're an environment. It's environmental initiatives and keeping green spaces alive and making them thrive and all of these things. We can include and there's things like if we want to add, if I'm not mistaken, we can add, I keep saying planters. I don't know if on each corner, each whatever, but we can add planters. Um, I asked them about that because that's the only thing I could think of. But I
Oh.
started today my first day of I think Baltimore County was offering a class through, I don't know, on grant writing. And it was interesting because I was looking for a class on it and they sent me an email. I think I applied to take another training and they said we have this. So it opens up a, I guess there's a web page. It opens that up temporarily so that I can look for other grants that would potentially help the neighborhood. What I would like to do is find grants to help replace or repair our signage. I would like um uh I don't know, I don't remember what they call these, but I think they're banners, and they'll either tell you, as you're driving through the main part of the community, welcome to Edmondson Heights, or so that you don't have to make it to the sign. Because there's a couple of there's depending on where you're going, you could come through the neighborhood and not see the signs. You can come in and out. Hey, I'm in on St. Agnes, out on St. Agnes. But I'd like to make it crystal clear that this is a covenant controlled community. So if the answer is if what they won't cover, I'll be on the lookout for other things, for other grants to do other things.
Okay. Well, I've taken it upon myself, and I had my son help me too, on Harwell, on that strip, the corners that meets Harwell and Forest Park and Kirkwood, to cut those bushes back from those corners. It's made a big difference as far as the sight line.
Okay. I didn't usually I get when that happens, someone calls with a thank you and says, thank you so much, but I didn't get anything. So, okay. Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome. I don't mind, but it just makes a big difference when you're coming up to the corner so you can see all four intersections clearly before you even get all the way up.
And I need to ask homeowners on corner properties to cut their shrubs back, because it doesn't feel safe when you come into a corner and you can't see around the shrub.
Hi, Jaquisa, this is Sharon. Could some of that money be used for in the triangle, there's it appears to be an evergreen. I'm not really sure. It is dying, it's leaning. Could some of that money be used to take that down?
The blue evergreen?
Yeah, that looks like it's in trouble.
We're hoping so.
Okay.
We're hoping so. One of the things we wanted to be able to do, like in the park, we wanted to be able to have the trees cut if they needed to be cut, and have the mulch turned over to us. That's the thing. But yeah, those trees, that's definitely something. It's funny because we don't need permission to do anything with those trees because the county said they didn't plant them. But if we wanted to maybe put something else there, or if we wanted to break ground in any kind of way, we would have to consult the county. I think that would be SHA. So, but yeah. Yeah. Yes, Susie. We saw when we attended the summit last week, there were these they use QR codes to give up to the minute. They asked you questions at polls, is what they were. They did polls and they used QR codes, and which I think it was through Outlook. I made notes of it either way. But I thought I can do that because I can do most things that I don't know how to do. But yes, we're gonna work on that, work on the questions, because my question one is like, does the community even want this? And I've never known anybody to turn back free money. And I can't. I can't. One, the money hasn't been free because I mean we've had to work and sweat and get tan and stuff. So that is not free. It is for the community. Um, but we'll work on what the question should be and which way to go when it comes to the answers. I do understand about the erosion. It's like it's bigger. I think they'll okay us doing something on the external part of the park before the internal part. And I've been asked about community gardens, which I have no idea how to go about that. But or if the soil is good that we can do it. I don't. We'd have to see if we can do something like that and when. And
Jaquisa, can I jump in? And
yes, ma'am.
also, when it comes to the watershed down there and the erosion, those are a two-part thing. So we're talking about actually cutting it down so they can only go but so far with cutting the grass. And if they aren't cutting the grass, then we can report that they aren't cutting the grass and they're actually not going down. But as far as having, because technically they don't want anyone walking down there where the actual watershed is because it's dangerous. And then there's a liability for that. So that's the two-part thing. So you technically should not be walking inside of the park where the watershed is until that is repaired. That was one of our issues when we were actually doing the cleanup. They didn't want an outside contractor that we had to go down and assist us with the cleanup because it was heavy machinery. They didn't want the wood chipper down to chip back from the erosion from the trees so that we can have it to use for the community. So that was one of the pushbacks. So it's not like in the background, we understood what it was that some of you wanted, and then the others, we don't understand what that is, but for your safety, that watershed should be off limits for anybody walking on it because it is a safety issue. And then that's a total different part than just working with Parks and Recs. That's a whole different, I want to say department to work with for the watershed. So it's the watershed plus the maintenance of the park. And then after we do that, then it comes to the design part. So we're nowhere near the design yet at all until we can get the county officials' offices on board with what we can and we cannot do with the park. And that's just the park. Now the maintenance for Harwell, that's done for by transportation. That's not even by Parks and Recs. And the same thing with the triangle. So that's why that hasn't been maintained because they had three separate, technically four separate different offices that we literally have to work with to go through to figure that out, who does what. And then when we bring the key players through to the table, they want to use the money as they see fit, not what the community wants. So that's another pushback. So all that Jaquisa and I are doing specifically to provide beautification to our community is blood, sweat, and tears.
Wow.
Point
Wow.
blank, period. With where we are, and so that's when we do the small thank yous or gather like the giveaway for the trees, and there's another giveaway for the trees on October the 9th. I'll brief that in a little bit, but the giveaway for the trees, the plant giveaway, and the cleanups. So these are some of the things that we are trying to offset to make sure that we don't lose our funding for the community, because that's what we don't want to lose. Because I can remember when Jaquisa didn't know how we were going to do it. And it's too expensive for the community, for the board, for us as an association to do on our own. That was the whole reason for us getting hooked up with Neighbor Space and then with Be Green. So now that we got this funding, we most definitely do not want to lose it. We don't want to lose that at all, because then we'll be back at the table. Where do we get this money from? And then now we know that Parks and Recs and property management, they don't play well together. So then we get stuck in the middle when it comes to who is okaying or who will veto. And who's on board with what we're actually doing. And what we don't want them to do is to come in and say, give us instructions or advice of how we should be spending money that should be going into our community, specifically for us and not for
And
another.
we want to be taken seriously.
Absolutely.
We want to be taken seriously. We want them to go, oh no, not them again. We want to be taken seriously, and working on this is majority women. It's majority women in Don. But it's majority women, and we want to be taken seriously. And what we don't want is to ask for something later and they go, Edmondson Heights can't make up their mind. They can't put two thoughts together. Don't worry about them. No, worry about us. Worry about us. So yeah, we're gonna want to know, what is it that you guys would want? I walk by the school and go, okay, maybe we could use some of it. If we can't get the money before they give it back, what can we do? And it's like, can we do something at the school? Put flowers in their flower beds? Can we, like, what is it? Before we want to use it, y'all. Basically, we want to use it. My one idea, and I might put it on things every now and then, but it is kind of a campaign to keep Edmondson Heights beautiful. And we'll probably just have that on everything, do some stenciling, to ask people not to litter because we are keeping Edmondson Heights beautiful. Add some pet waste stations. Hopefully the grant will take care of that. I haven't had a million calls on pet waste, thank goodness. But I did have someone while I was walking two dogs, and she saw me picking up behind one and didn't see the other one do his business. And she did get in her car and find me and tell me that I didn't see the other dog drop. And I thought, yeah, I cannot be responsible for what I cannot see. It's two dogs. One was a girl. I'll say that. But yeah, like pet waste stations, I do have people who are asking for that. And I think either way, we've got it's a good community thing to have, and just whatever we can do to keep the community beautiful. Find out what our main streets are and focus on those is what I'm thinking. So, okay, William. So, and focus on those and make those, because people don't know that we're here, and they think that when they don't, it's just houses, and they come and they can drop their stuff out the window and throw it out, and I don't care. I don't know these people. They don't. I don't care. But no, we are here, and we want everybody to know it. Yes, Miss Shauna.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Shauna Watson.
Hello. I'm Shauna Watson. For those who haven't met me, I am the community school facilitator for Edmondson Heights Elementary School. So good evening to everyone. I didn't want to jump in, you guys. I jumped on a little late. We had our magnet school night tonight. So it ended at the very time that your meeting started. So, but I just wanted to pop on to share with you guys, just speaking to the beautification of the community. We're on board with any of those initiatives, community cleanup. And Jaquista, I heard you mention the community asking for a community garden. That has come up in a lot of our family surveys as well. So I'm pleased to announce we are working to establish an agriculture club at the school. And we have a really, really expert. She has a green thumb. Her name is Miss Kay Cooper, and she's going to be assisting with creating the club where students can lead and kind of learn how to grow food and crops from wherever they are. And I also heard you mention about the soil, the quality of the soil. And she's actually going to show us economical ways to grow food out of cardboard boxes and things like that to kind of help, students with not feeling like, oh, I have to have the right soil, the right this. She's going to teach them different ways. The good news is
Okay.
that we do have a lot of green at school. So the community garden could live right on our property. So we can make that a collaborative effort. Once we get to that point, we'll have an interest meeting around that as we get the planning. And we talked to some things about creating a seed bank. So if you guys are eating fruits and veggies that have seeds, you can drop the seeds off so we can kind of keep a seed bank of different crops. So we talked about a lot of things. So I'll, keep you in the loop with that, Jaquista, as we are establishing that because it is a need on both sides. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
And
So
and we
much.
have heard the kids talk about that. So
Yes.
that is, I'm with Delegate Ruth. Agricultural club is great because I
Yes.
do think the kids are where we stop or where we slow down. They take the baton and they run with it, and they have to have the knowledge and the interest in it. So I do think that is great. Oh,
Awesome. Thank you so much, Delegate. And then really quick, because I know we're running late on the call. I just wanted to open the floor. We are commencing our shared decision-making team series for this upcoming school year. Our first meeting will occur in October. I will send the date out. We originally had it set for this Thursday coming. However, this is a day out of school for the students. So I didn't want to have so much going on Thursday. So the new date we will determine tomorrow morning, and I'll send that out to you, Jaquista. You can send out to the community. I do want more community presence in those meetings because we are talking about budget and money and how to allocate money and funding. So some of those items that have come up, as a community school, the money we receive through legislation, it is for the entire community as well as the school. So I want community members to be a part of some of the programs we're establishing, some of the clubs and all of that in real time.
okay.
And then last but not least, Fall Festival is back. We're declaring the date of October 30th, which is a Wednesday. And it's Fall Festival at Edmondson Heights. We are looking for volunteers over a number of stations that we've established. From the community school side, we're going to distribute pumpkins and produce. So I partnered with the farm, First Fruits Farm, and they're donating 550 pumpkins. So we're going to have like pumpkin patch style, and then as well as we're going to have produce available. So it's open to the community. So October 30th will be on the school grounds. We have teachers and parents decorating trunks for candy. We have dinner we'll be serving. We have a DJ coming and some games and some crafts. So it's going to be a really fun night. And we weren't able to have Fall Festival last year with the shooting incident, but we're going to come back stronger. Our theme this year, and I saw it on somebody's profile, Better Together is also our theme for the school. So we're just hoping that everyone can come out and we have a great time in harmony and community. So
Okay.
October 30th, I'll get you some flyers, Jaquista and Angela. And thank you so, so much. And if there's anyone interested in volunteerism, you guys can be in touch with Jaquista or Angela, and they will
Yep.
provide me your name, and I'll get you a volunteer training. It's like a quick 5-minute video, and we'll go over a few questions and get you officially registered as a volunteer with the school. And that was all my spiel for 5 minutes.
Now, did you say, or did you not say the decision making is virtual now?
Well, we did an interest meeting that was virtual in September, maybe 2 weeks ago, just to get a feel, because we are trying to expand that group. Some of the parents in the room were fifth grade parents who have moved on to Southwest Academy and other prospective middle schools. So we're just trying to open the floor. But no, we are in person, but I am going to do, it came up as a suggestion, a hybrid option where we will have a login link for those who, may want to join and be in real time, and we can like display it on the screen, and they can be a part of like a hybrid model. The date
And
is to be determined. The second date, if not Thursday coming, I proposed to our new principal was the 17th, but PTA, we kind of bumped heads with the date. They're doing a fundraiser at Chuck E. Cheese at Route 40 West. So I didn't want anyone at the shared decision-making team meeting and having to choose between going, because we do want the fundraiser to be a success. So
yes.
that's another announcement, October 17th. If you just pop in with children, grandchildren, nieces or nephews to Chuck E. Cheese, and you guys experience, you eat food or play games, 20% of the proceeds come back to the school, to our PTA.
Okay.
Yeah. So once I
We
get the
received,
date. Mm-hmm.
but I keep receiving things from invitations from Bubba's. Um, it was somewhere else earlier today. There's been Krispy Kreme asking to collaborate on fundraising.
Okay.
Just kind of letting you know I can pass those off, but I don't need one more thing to do.
No, that's
So,
fine. PTA is which they facilitate our fundraisers. We leave that all to them. And then they are, a lot of PTAs will retain the money, but no, our PTA they reinvest the money right back into our programs and anything that we want to do. So we can talk about that if you want to do something for the community. We can work
oh
something
no,
out.
no.
Okay.
Mm,
But yeah,
mm.
so they just been putting out a poll to see what families were interested in, and Chuck E. Cheese was like one of the ones we used to do in the
Okay,
past. But they
gotcha.
did Double Good popcorn did very well, so I think they're going to do one of those in the spring. The
Okay,
candy bar was not that great. I think that one was a lot of lost inventory, things like that. But we're trying to find creative ways to raise money that isn't very, daunting for families, and
right.
we're not in a deficit if candies are not returned and things like that. So but yeah, so that's all I have for the community school side of things.
Okay,
So but I was sharing with Angela via email, we are in need of any hands on deck, whether you come help me with giving out pumpkins or anything like that.
Shauna,
okay,
did you say
Yeah.
what time the Fall Fest is?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. The start time is 6 p.m., 6 to 7:30. And but you're more than welcome. All of volunteers can come early, or kind of if you want to help early and then have to peel out. But it's from 6 to 7:30. I'll get you guys a
And
flyer.
and Shauna, what about Chuck E. Cheese? What time is that fundraiser?
Chuck E. Cheese is from 3 p.m. to 9. It's a long stretch. So
Okay.
that gives people time to get off work, get the kids. Yep, it's from 3 to 9. I'll get you guys both flyers for that. I'll email them over, and you can blast it out, Jaquista or Angela.
Yes, and
Okay.
it popped up in the chat, and I
Mhm.
did forget to remind everyone that the Woodlawn Precinct is having its annual trunk or treat on Liberty Road this year. They are accepting candy donations, which we will be donating for that again. We try to help where we can.
We
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you. So yeah, okay, sounds good. I think I'll sign up to volunteer and
Okay,
sign.
yeah, or if you don't volunteer your time, if you want to donate candy, we're accepting candy as well.
Okay,
Or anything like that. We are, or like bottled water to go with dinner or anything like that. We are open to, any support to make this a success.
okay.
Yeah, so we're doing a few crafts and things like that. So it's room for everyone, even if you can't be there in person. Um,
Okay.
you can support in any way, and you can come directly through, me. I could put my email and phone number in the chat for
It'll
anyone.
be on the flyer.
My information is not on the flyer. It's just the RSVP code on there. But I'll put it
Go
here.
ahead and put your information. Okay, go ahead and put
Now,
your
what I
information.
could do, I do have a falling in love with volunteering um flyer. I could send that one over. That one does have all of my information on it for
Okay.
anyone that wants to volunteer or do any donations toward.
All right.
Mhm.
Sounds good. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, everyone.
And good
Thank
luck.
you, Shauna.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, does anybody else have anything that they want to bring to the table? Because I think yeah, I think I'm at the end of my agenda.
I do. I'm not
Yes.
sure if anyone else is experiencing this, but deliveries from Amazon in particular is delivering in the back alley way in the backyard. So I'm not quite sure if anyone else is experiencing it. I've experienced it 3 times. And then I literally had to put up signs, do not deliver in my backyard. And I literally had to call and and speak with someone at Amazon in reference to why they're doing. And one of the individuals told me that that's where the GPS center to is my backyard. And I said, that is ridiculous. Please don't deliver, in the backyard. That makes absolutely no sense. And it's crazy because I got one delivered in the morning, and in the afternoon, he said, because the GPS sent him down the back alley, that's where he delivered it. So just want to make you guys aware of if you're missing packages, because then I had one of my other neighbors to come up, literally up on my porch, looking at my package, get ready to take my package because they thought it was their packages. So it's just as Officer Ben's Clark said, just be mindful of your packages when they're coming, and make sure that you are literally around. Because I pretty much have a good system with my neighbors to the that's around me, but just what if I wasn't? I'm just not understanding why they thought that that was a good idea. But I did see one of my neighbors receive a food delivery on the St. Agnes side, so I'm not quite sure why they're coming down the alleyway, because it's not a well-used alley. You literally have to find your way to get down the alley, and I'm midway to block, so that makes absolutely no sense. If I was on the end the homes, I could understand you possibly putting it there, but not when you have
Wow.
to come literally down the alley to drop it off in the backyard. I don't understand. So I just wanted to make you guys aware.
Good that we got an answer on that one.
Yeah.
Still
And
creepy.
the other one, Jaquista, I think you've already mentioned it for the dumpster day, which is coming up here in October. And then there is another free tree giveaway through, let me see, I got it pulled up. and I couldn't put it in the chat, but it's the free tree giveaway, and this is through Baltimore City, Baltimore County. Residents are open up to it, and the location is Still Meadow Community Fellowship. If anyone is interested in there, I'll make sure that we have it posted up on Facebook, and the date of it is October the 19th.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Anything else? Just give me a minute, okay? Anybody got anything else? Okay. What?
There was a question. Susie wanted to know, are we getting donations from Edmondson Heights funds, or are we asking individuals to donate
No.
candy?
No, we get it from Edmondson Heights funds.
Okay.
No, we're getting it from Edmondson Heights funds. That's what we do. And we are I'm gonna check with the fire department that attended our national night out and see if they are doing something also, and we'll donate to them. But yes, the funding comes from Edmondson Heights funding, as well as I have an email being drafted about we historically would give to the book fair at the elementary school. So we have a new principal now, and I don't remember the last time we gave. I know we've given for Teachers Appreciation Week. We bought lunch for teachers. However, if there's something else they would rather we donate to aside from the book fair, but we've given to the book fair because no kid should be turned down for a book. I have an email drafted. We will most likely be donating to that as well. Eventually, at some point, we will have the opportunity to put together a budget and determine what we spend, how we spend, and what we have to contribute to the community. Yeah, I'm gonna put a period at the end of that. So yeah, comes from that. And I'll be putting an introduction to the new principal in the newsletter, in this coming newsletter. So
We
and
asking for volunteers for dumpster day.
there we go. Um, are we asking for volunteers for dumpster day?
I mean, when is I guess my next question should be, when is our next board meeting? Because we don't have to put it all out to the board. If someone wants to come up and assist us with dumpster day, that would be great. So that it won't be on the president and the vice president.
Okay. I will. I think we don't have anything planned, and I think it would be. I'll send out an email checking to see again. I did say I was going to say it at the end of this, our next dumpster day, which is only dumpster, but we are accepting those big back TVs and monitors that we haven't accepted before. It is the 26th of this month, and we are starting. What time are we starting, Miss Angela?
We're going to start at, because normally the dumpsters get there at 7, but we need possibly a few minutes to get set up. So it would be at I start at from 8 to 12, or till the dumpsters are filled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we can start doing some fall cleaning, and whatever we broke this fall, we can get rid of it so that we can buy it again when it goes on sale for Christmas. I know how it goes. May not have any money, but I know how shopping works. So yeah. Um, turn your porch lights on if you've got candy for trick-or-treating. Hopefully it's a good night to just kind of sit on the porch and give your candy out. Um, I know when I did it, it was very nice to just kind of sit out and you saw neighbors but yeah, for Halloween, for giving out candy, put your porch lights on, make yourself visible. I wish we could do something to make that make it known or do something bigger or better, but I'm tired. So maybe one year we'll do something a little bit more organized, but we'll just let the school do it this year. And I want everybody to be safe. And our next meeting, as Angela would ask, is November oh,
Yes.
okay. Okay. That's okay. It's November the 5th, which is also election day and night. Um, what do we want to do? Um,
Well, you do have individuals that actually work and don't get a chance to take off to go voting. So that's an executive decision. If you have it, those that will show up, and then those that won't will be voting.
okay, we'll have it, and hopefully, um, people show up. If you don't show up, remember to watch us on YouTube. Usually it's the videos are uploaded by the time I go to bed at night, but definitely the next morning. I want to thank the people who watch us on YouTube and give their feedback and thumbs up. Weekly
Krista, this is Sharon. Can I just
Yes,
share
ma'am.
one thing with you guys? Last week, it was about 12 noon, a weekday. It was raining. I was down at the intersection of Forest Park and Cooks Lane. I was about to make a left-hand turn and go down Security Boulevard. And I heard what I thought was like heavy tapping on the passenger side of my car. And when I turned to look, it looked like a gentleman with the hood on and a hat and on the phone was walking away from my vehicle. Now, I did not see him tapping on my vehicle, so I can't, but I just want to say to everyone, just be alert, when you're down in that area, because it startled me. I always go that way and I can't say that he was tapping, but what I heard was not raindrops. And when I looked out of my peripheral vision, I saw him walking appeared to be away from my vehicle over to the gas station. And I don't want to frighten anyone, but I just want everybody to be alert if you're down in that area, particularly during the day. It wasn't a high traffic time of day. In fact, I was the only one sitting there to make that left turn. And I think the reason he may have walked away, he saw me about to move and, go into traffic. Thank God for that. I don't know what he wanted. And I don't want to even imagine what he wanted,
Don't
but
care.
I'd be remiss if I hadn't mentioned it to everybody. When you're down at that area, just be careful, particularly if it's during the day and there's not a lot of traffic or things going on. Just
Good
wanted to
looking
share that
out.
with everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Speaking of that, the gas station, I think it's a Shell station at the end of Forest Park. I guess is that Forest Park in Cooks Lane, the
Yes.
Shell station that no one
Yes.
really wants to go to. I spoke before about having a meeting where we were asked to support the owners of the Shell station, and they were looking to redistrict um the gas station, and they wanted our support. And what we said to them was, we need something from you. Here's the issue with that gas station. And in order for us to support you, we need you to be aware and to do something about it so that we can use the gas station that's actually in our neighborhood. They have gone to in front of the county council, and their redistricting has been approved. And what I want us to look out for is changes. This should mean this should mean that the gas station, um, it's not the gas station, it's the mechanic station, the service station part of that should eventually be going away. I know that that's been a huge issue
Yes.
for people, but what they want to do is have the opportunity to expand it so that they can maybe offer food, like cooked foods there. And they would need that part of the store. They would need that. So just be on the lookout for things to change. And if you see anything that changes, just kind of let me know that they're doing. I live on Barrett, so I don't even go that way. But let's kind of be vigilant. And we wanted that part of the store to go away, and we actually want to feel safe. We want them to clean it up a little bit and just don't come in and make changes. And they did want to consider us. We want to make sure that they are considering us, basically. So keep an eye out there because I don't go that way. After that, if no one has anything else, I appreciate you all for hanging out with me. Thank you, Ms. Bronzella, for hanging out with me.
Thank you for my complaints and all.
I look forward to them. In the
Okay.
middle of the last meeting, I went, wait a minute. Yeah.
Okay.
I have all of your stuff. I have it written down. I still definitely have it. I talked to Nancy maybe last week when I was walking, so I
Okay.
got you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you
Everybody have a
all.
good evening, good weekend, and be safe.
Be
Thank you, you
safe.
too.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
Jaquista, you want this recording stopped?
Yes, ma'am.